good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Thank you.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. How are you? Where are you? There you are. How are you? Good to be with you. This is the Ron Van Dam Show, is what they call it so much because my name's in it. They were going to call it the Becky Sherwood Show, but I'm not Becky Sherwood, so that wouldn't make sense. It would just confuse you. What I do on this program is I talk about the things that we tend to experience in our lives, but we never seem to talk about it because there's just no point. So that's why I'm here. I will never have a member of the school department on my show unless it's by mistake in order to talk about this school, because that's obviously something that people do on shows like this. I'm not going to have a guest come in and try to sort out their lives as to why anything they do has any effect on you whatsoever. I don't do that kind of thing. I just talk in a monologue sense. I love this format because I talk and you can't say anything back to me. You just have to totally shut up. And I love that aspect of the program. As a matter of fact, I had come up with an invention. It's a buzzer. And you set it, and the buzzer doesn't make it like a buzzing sound. It makes like an obnoxious, I don't care, just stop it right now kind of sound. Here's the sound that the buzzer makes. See, even the sound of the buzzer doesn't care. It's why even bother, but it is a signal to you to stop talking. And that's what it's used for. The understanding is when you hear the buzzer, you have to stop talking. I would hit the buzzer whenever I feel that what you're saying is so inconsequential to me that there is no point in you continuing the conversation because I'm getting tired of going, yeah, oh, really? That's just tiresome to me, and all it does is fuel you to keep talking. So I've come up with this invention. It runs on batteries. You don't have to change the batteries too much. You keep it in your pocket so it can't be seen, but there is an understanding that when you hear that buzzer go off, and again, the sound of the buzzer is, then you stop talking. It's over, and you can't say anything else from that point, and we just say goodbye. That's all you can say after that. Okay, goodbye. You don't have to insult people by saying, look, you're incessantly talking, you have verbal diarrhea. Will you stop talking already? You don't have to go into that and insult people. All you do is just hit this buzzer and you're supposed to stop. That goes two ways. It goes two ways. I know if you had this buzzer at home, you'd be buzzing like crazy right now. I get it, but that's my invention. It's the "our time is up" buzzer. I love it, man. I love it. It's like at the end of a talk show. You know, if the show's 30 minutes or an hour, when it's over, the host always says, "Well, our time is up for today," and everybody goes, "Thank God." Oh, thank God. That's what this is about. It's the same thing. It's just, our time is up. Sorry. I know you think you're interesting, but our time is up for now. The other thing that you can do is make an excuse that always works to get out of talkative situations when you really want to get out of there quickly. Here's what you say without any kind of setup at all. You don't have to set this up. You don't have to explain the buzzer or anything like that. You just say this, and it'll get you out of every situation. You can leave immediately at any time you wish. Now listen, some people really have this problem, and it's a medical problem, and there's things you can do about it medically. But if you use this excuse to get out of a conversation or to leave the room quickly, it's very effective. And I don't mean to downplay it as something that's inconsequential to most people who have this particular condition. But here's what you say. The other person is talking and talking and talking about themselves and won't shut up and all that. And then you say, oh, I have to leave. Why? What's wrong? I have bladder leakage. You're out of there. You're out of there. Bladder leakage. You don't have to explain if it's chronic or not. You just have to say, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to continue sitting on your couch? Is that what you want? If I do anything on this program whatsoever, and that's really questionable, I impart wisdom upon you that you can use in regular circumstances. Now, of course, if you use this on me, if we were in conversation and you were sitting on my couch and I was talking and you wanted to just get out of there because it was incessantly boring. If you said to me, I got to go, I got bladder leakage, I would say, no, you don't. No, you don't. I invented that. I invented that excuse. You stay there and you continue listening to me. That's why the buzzer's important. Okay, fine. Well, thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Actually, I'm wearing a sports jacket because I consider this to be a formal situation. I know half of you aren't wearing pants. I get it. It's okay. You're sitting at home. You're not wearing pants. I get it. You don't have to. I don't either. However, if you're driving in your car and you're listening to the show, that's a problem. Okay, fine. So I'll just get that out of my way. Oh, man, huh? What are you thinking? You know how I know I'm getting older? I stretch and yawn more than I used to. There's if you chart on a piece of paper or in your computer or your phone or something, every time you yawn or stretch, you'll find the older you get, the more you do that. And it's very enjoyable. It's very, very nice. It's my way of taking a quick stretch, a quick nap. It's that felt so good. Okay, all right, fine. Allergies, I'm sorry, allergies. I have allergies all year. I'm allergic to everybody. I don't think I'm allergic to dust, pollen. I don't think I am. I think I'm allergic to a lot of people. And it's not their perfume or their deodorant. It's just the fact that they're there. I think that's what it is. I asked my doctor, I said, what do you think I'm allergic to? And she said, well, we can run a battery of tests. And I said, no batteries. She says, what do you think it is, Ron? And I said, I think I'm just allergic to people. And she actually said, yeah, I get it. Okay, fine. Whatever. A couple of months ago, actually it was last Monday, I went to the IKEA store. There's one locally around here. You probably know it. And IKEA store is like nothing else on the planet. It is the strangest store. It's fun to be in until you realize that it's just one giant escape room. Have you ever realized that once you walk into the IKEA building, you shall never leave? There's no way out. Sure, they have exit signs over some doors, and you think that the exit is going to bring you out of the store. It doesn't. It just puts you in another room of which there is no return. That store freaks me out. I literally can't find my way out of that thing. And my heart starts to palpitate. Like, how many years will I be in here? I can't get out. Every room leads me to another room endlessly. These exit signs are frivolous. I know a person that went into the IKEA and when they came out, had a full beard. And that was a woman. It's scary what happens in there. There's There's a black hole. There's a space-time continuum. If there was an IKEA when Einstein was making up theories, that would have been the black hole. He would have come up with that thing really, really faster. Because that's like a science crazy thing. I don't know if it's an architecture thing or there is actually something that goes through the IKEA store foundation that actually warps time and space. It's a very interesting concept. You know, these kids go to these escape rooms, for fun on the weekend to see if they can get out, and don't bother, just go to the IKEA store. I know it's a lot scarier, and there's no clues. The only clues are the exit signs over the doors. But they're not going to help you. There are no clues. I don't understand the IKEA store. Everything in that store you have to assemble. And I don't understand why. Some of that stuff is rather small, and yet you must assemble it when you leave, if you ever do. And I hate assembling things. I used to love Christmas. Oh, it was so much fun with all the toys and the gifts and all that kind of thing. That was before inflation. That was a good time, man. We had a good time with that. Oh, baby, we did. But here was the problem with that whole deal was that I had to assemble things. I can't assemble anything. I don't follow the instructions. When I assemble things, it turns out nothing like the picture on the box. Don't ask me to. This furniture, you go to a store, you buy the furniture, they deliver the furniture, and you find, well, wait a minute, that's not a chair. That's like a box full of screws and nuts and bolts and Allen wrenches. I don't know who this guy Allen was, but you should not have invented that. It enabled these people to make everybody else put the furniture together themselves. It's just awful. I can't. The chairs end up looking like a Picasso piece of art that is not functional. That's the IKEA store. Everything has to be. If you buy a plate, a dinner plate, they give you clay and a kiln. It's very, very confusing. It's a fun store. I see these newlyweds, walking through the place thinking that they're going to leave someday, and they never do. They never do. At the end of the rainbow, if you finally get out of the IKEA store, they have an incentive, a prize at the end. And it's an odd prize. It's a meatball. That's your prize for successfully getting out of the escape room, a Swedish meatball. I've seen places that have hot dogs, maybe some pretzels, maybe some pizza. IKEA, a Swedish meatball. I know. I know. I've never had a Swedish meatball at the IKEA because I'm embarrassed to tell people that I'm doing that. And I'd have to sit at the table and eat the meatball, and I don't want anybody seeing me eat the meatball because it's just such an absurd concept. Cocktail Franks? All right, fine. Swedish meatball? They don't even have Swedish meatballs at Costco from the street vendors there. What are those things there? When you walk through Costco, they've got... Are you a member of Costco? Are you a member? Yeah. Me too. I have a card that I have to flash. It's the only store where you buy stuff in the store, you're a member, but when you leave, they frisk you and pat you down. I got to see your receipt. I don't trust you, member. But I'm a member. All right, take your belt off and your shoes. Come on. What are you hiding? What are you hiding in your pants? What is that? It's embarrassing. So I go to Costco, and if you haven't had lunch, you just walk into Costco and you go up to their little. They have vendors. Senior citizens become vendors all of a sudden, and you're eating pretty much everything that they're trying to get rid of. And sometimes it's tasty, and sometimes it's like, whoa. I don't know what that food is, but it should be shot because that's disgusting. I think they invented that food just to do something with all the sodium because, wow, ugh. But not at any of those at the end of the aisle. Never a meatball in sight. Never a Swedish meatball. Odd, isn't it? I did want to talk about something else today, but before we do that, perhaps we should take a little commercial break. When I tried this last week, it didn't work out, so I'm going to try it again. We'll be right back after this. All right. John Shanahan, by the way, is doing our comedy commercials for us. He's a talented man. That's John Shanahan. And the opening announcement was John, and Nicole Reed was the British girl. And the music is composed for the program by Jason Shaw. Thank you so much, everybody. And then I'm just here in between for no reason whatsoever. I do this every single weekday. I've been doing it for 30 years just to give you a little insight as to who I am, as if you cared. Oh, the buzzer went off somewhere. I've been doing Boston and South Shore radio for since 1990. Oh my God, how old am I? And then in 2014, I went into the radio/podcasting business. And now I do the podcast every single weekday of my life. And it's also on some syndicated stations across the country. And that's what I do. Nice to meet you. If you want to listen, and I hope you do, you can go to newenglandbroadcasting.com or ronvandamme.com. I'm on every single platform there is in creation. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, everything. Stretched. I stretched because I'm getting old. Oh, that felt good. Recently on my television show, on my radio show, I interviewed a young lady who was with Airbnb. And she was promoting Airbnb. If you have a house or a nice place and you're not going to be there, or you want to rent out a room for the night or for the week to somebody whom you don't know whatsoever, she was trying to say you can make a lot of money by being an Airbnb host or hostess. I don't know if you have to say hostess anymore. I don't think that's necessary to do. And I was very polite through the whole interview. I shut my freaking mouth through the whole thing. But I kept wanting to say to her in the interview, which you're not supposed to do, I kept wanting to say, "What, are you crazy? Why would you want to have a complete stranger in your house for the night, whether you're there or not?" I mean, I don't know how much they vet these people or vent them, but I mean, they could be ex-murderers. I really don't know. You're just they could be doing drugs. I don't know. You have these strangers in your house. And it's called Airbnb. B&B used to be bed and breakfast, right? Okay, sure. The air part, you rent out your floor in a room to somebody and they put a mattress down, an air mattress, and they sleep on that. Wow. Somebody came up with this concept that I thought originally was probably some joke. But it's a thing, this Airbnb. It's turned into more than just an air mattress, obviously. I can't. First of all, I don't want to stay in somebody else's house, especially on the floor, because they could be weird. And secondly, and thirdly, and fourthly, nobody's staying in my house. I don't care how much money you have. As I said at the beginning of the show, it's tough enough to deal with people that visit you and have them leave, much less have them pay you money to sleep on your floor in the next room. God, no. No. I mean, you might have the guest might have a fetish of urinating on the walls. I don't know. How would you know that? And then, of course, the sister to that problem would be Uber. Many people use Uber. I'm not going to put them down. It serves a function. All I'm saying is no stranger is ever getting in my car. No way. No how. Get out of my car. What are you doing? You're rating me? I'm driving you and you're rating me? I'll rate you right back, you bastard. Uber my you-know-what. And I'm not getting into anybody else's car and then hear the locks go down in the back seat. No way. How do I know you're not going to drive me under a bridge somewhere and have your way with my pleasantries? No. No, I'll take a registered taxi cab any day. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Ubers are fine and wonderful. There haven't been a lot of murders. And I'm not saying Airbnb is a horrible idea. I would not participate in it, but many people do it successfully. I think you have to be young. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm getting on any kind of air mattress, and in any sense of the word, getting up from it easily. I won't even pick up a penny off the floor anymore. Even that's too much work. No, thank you, Jose. I don't know why I chose Jose. I have no idea. Jose is a wonderful name because it doesn't spell like it sounds. It's not H-O-S-E. That would be hose. It should be H-O-S-E-A-Y, but it's not. I think it's J-O-S-E. That makes it fascinating, and I think that's why I chose that name for that particular joke. Halloween is coming up. Next week on the show, I'm going to question Americans and human beings' obsession with slasher movies. It's kind of the one thing that we would try to avoid in real life, and yet, for entertainment purposes, we'll pay money to see it on a screen. It makes no sense. So we'll check that out next time around. I believe I'm out of time. One of the faults that I have coming into this studio, this is not my studio. I'm using this studio. It's being used. This studio is my Airbnb studio, so to speak. In my studio, there's a big freaking clock on the wall that counts down the 30 minutes. I do a 30-minute show. In this studio, there is not that. And unless I bring a clock in or constantly check my phone, I don't know how long I've been doing this show today. This could be 20 minutes in. It could be 25 minutes in. It could be 6 minutes in. I have no idea whatsoever. For that, I apologize to you, and only that. Otherwise, I owe you no apologies whatsoever. If this show is running over 30 minutes, I've probably been cut off already. Really, I have no idea whatsoever is my point. I'm going to squeeze one more thing in, if I may. I do go to the movies every once in a while, but I don't really go to see the movie. I choose the most boring movie I can think of, and I pay the money. This is if I have insomnia the night before and I can't fall asleep. I will go to the movies, And every single time, I will fall asleep about 10, 15 minutes into the movie. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be an adventure film where people are shooting each other and car chases and all kinds of bombs and explosions going off. I will sleep like a baby. I really will. It doesn't make sense, but you've got this big thing on the screen making noise, lighting up the whole theater, and that's when I comfortably fall asleep. I know, I don't understand it either. Any movie will put me to sleep. Any movie. I frequently will go to the movies to see a movie that I actually intended to watch. But no, I shall fall asleep accordingly. And when the movie's over, I feel refreshed and anew. It's wonderful. It's a costly way of getting a good rest and a good nap, but my God, it's so effective. The louder and stranger the movie, the more I fall asleep comfortably. It's bizarre, but true. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm out of time. I really don't know. I have no idea what's going on, any more than you do. So let me just, where's the closing theme? Here we go. I wish you peace. Take care.